Hey guys, how are you? How's everyone doing today? Good morning, Timbers. We're here. We just sent out the email launching the collection. Our website, Factory Access, is now live on craft.asmarts.com. We're really here to answer any questions you may have. I'm here on video. Julian is in the chat. We're probably going to switch off throughout the day. Good morning. How are you? So you should get either one of us at least once or twice today. And probably, depending on what you guys want, we're probably going to be going live fairly regularly during the campaign, especially in the first week or so, as you guys get accustomed to what we have. Take a look around. We have lots of new materials, lots of new colors, lots of new styles. Pretty much, actually, I think every style that we have on here is brand new. We also have a lot of styles that we didn't release. So we'll probably be releasing those at some point in the future. We really have a lot of ammo, I guess you can say. I've created a lot of shoes in the last year or so, and this is just a small part of it. So hopefully some point later this year, you'll see a lot more as well. But you know, I'll leave this guy to see it almost like just completely bends and folds. So it's a super soft, super nice sneaker, very light. The heaviest part of the sneaker is the margam outsole, which is a pure rubber outsole, which makes it kind of on the heavier side. But the upper is extremely light, extremely soft, extremely flexible. So we really like that a lot. We have our new sport collection as well, which I'll kind of go. Actually, I do have one right over here. Also, same ideas we've always had. We want to make a shoe that's super comfortable. That's probably one of the more important things for us. Really well constructed, really nice materials, actually the best materials, and outsole. This is a new outsole for us. It's an EVA outsole, a super light outsole, and we're using our really soft uppers as well. So this is a great shoe for wearing every day. It's really nice. It's comfortable. If you want to be wearing a sneaker, you want to dress up a little bit more than that, this is a perfect collection for that. That's why we created this sport collection. So I'll take a look. I see there's a little activity here in the comment section, in the chat. Yes, absolutely, John. I do hope that everyone is safe and healthy. Everyone's taking the necessary precautions. We all know it's kind of a crazy time right now. You know, and as we said in the email last week, we hope that this is a little bit of a distraction from that and helps you take your mind off of everything that's going on. We have a lot of beautiful shoes to look at. So it's hopefully going to be a little bit more entertaining than our usual day-to-days as they are right now. And if there's any shoe that you guys want to take a closer look at, any material they want to take a closer look at, any colors that maybe are not as clear to you on the campaign, on the webpage, I'm happy to bring it up and bring it up closer to you. Yes, I do have New York City's quiet. Raphael, I'm sorry that there's so many shoes that you want. It's actually really hard for us to edit this collection as well. And there's probably a lot more shoes that you would want if we release them all. But we had to do something. So I understand your pain. Editing this or just picking what you actually want is really, really difficult. It's very hard for me. Do you have any shoes in there that's latte color? Yes, let me bring that over. So we did 2 shoes right now in the latte color. It's our new Theo monk strap, and it's a cap toe monk strap, and it's really nice, really sporty looking in this latte color. And you'll notice that it's a lighter color outsole compared to what we usually have, which is a darker color outsole. So what I really wanted to do with this collection is give a lot of sportier options. We obviously have a lot of things to dress up more formal. We have a lot of that on our website as well, but I wanted to kind of change it up a little bit and do things that are a little bit more fun, a little bit more adventurous. And that's why you see something like this latte color, which is beige. It's got heavy burnishing on the toe and also heavy burnishing on the heel to give it a really nice contrast. And we did it also in an Oxford. And here on the Oxford, we did it on the black outsole. So it's a little bit more classic, as Oxfords are typically worn with a little bit more classic menswear, and a monk strap can be a little bit more sporty. So it's on the lighter color outsole. The latte color. So I hope, Rafael, that helps you out a little bit. And let me know if you have any other questions about this one, any other shoe that you want to see a little bit closer up. Another color that I really love, and actually this was added like last minute to the collection, is an Arancio color, and it's like a burnt orange color, and it's super cool. I kind of think of it a little bit like our bourbon color last year, which we introduced, which now it's hard for us to keep in stock on the website. And I hope that you guys like that Arancio color. So far, we did post a couple of pictures on Instagram. It was pretty well received, and I'll show you a close-up of that right now in a second. Just going to go through a couple more questions over here. Thank you. John, were you talking about the latte colors as well? These, or were we talking about the white sneakers? And then, yes, Mahesh, the monk strap is available. Which monk strap? The sneaker monk strap? And Alejo, good morning. How are you? Nice to see you. I'm happy to show you our new collection. Thanks, man, Rafael. Yeah, this monk strap is really, really cool. I mean, this color. Let me bring out the burnt orange also, that Arancio color, because these are probably my two favorite colors in this collection. Actually, there's one more, which is the Vela Blue, which I'll show you. So this is our new Charles. It's a long wingtip. We do have the Vincent, which is a more traditional regular wingtip, but this is really cool. We did some contrasting colors as well. You can see the heavy burnishing on the toe. The base of this is just like a flat out orange, and we use dark brown polish, a wax polish, to bring out a little bit of moodiness to make it a little bit darker. So it's a really, really cool color. And this you can really wear with anything that you would wear brown with. So like a navy blue suit, or a little bit more of like an electric blue suit. I would even say maybe a gray suit possibly, but it's a really nice color. Khakis, this would go very well with. It's a really, really nice color. Let's see. The boot and the blue patina that was in the sneak peek. Yes, I do have that. White sneakers, I'll show you that in a second, John. The Duke dress sneaker and ocean glove. Yes, I'm going to show you that, KM. Boot and the pick with the Cedric and Mel Blue. Yeah, and actually, I'm going to show you guys something really cool that we did with the boots now. So this, the white sneaker. And what else am I pulling out? And the ocean glove. Yeah. So let's start. We're heavy on the blues, I see. And actually, we actually have a lot more blue shoes, and some of them we edited out of the collection because we just had too many shoes. But if there's anything that you guys really like or really want, we'll talk about it as we always do during these campaigns, and we'll possibly consider adding something, but we'll see. So this is the Cedric in the blue, in the Vela Blue, and it's a little bit of, I guess it looks almost, I see on camera probably looks a little bit lighter than it does in person, but it's not a dark blue, and it's definitely not a light blue. It's a little bit darker than our Avio, but not a navy blue. And you can see, I don't know how this looks to you guys on camera. Yeah, the blue, actually, Julian, it's one of the ones we edited yesterday. So we decided to pull this one out. But if you guys really like it, and so what we did with this boot, and the reason that this is different than our Hugo boot, is one, this has a cap toe. Our Hugo boot is a plain toe. This does have a rubber outsole, and we added a zipper to this one. We know that boots can sometimes be a little bit difficult to put on, so we put a zipper on this, and you can actually use the laces also to tighten it. but we think that it's going to be a little bit easier to put this boot on and off. And we wanted to see what you guys think. I mean, this to us is what Factory Acts is all about. Like, we create a lot of different styles, lots of different colors, and then we put it all out there for you guys to see and let us know what you think. And that's why we're able to offer so many styles and colors during these campaigns. Thank you, Timbers. Now we're going to go to the Duke in Ocean Glove Leather. So again, this new glove leather that we're using on our sneakers, it's much softer than any of our previous sneakers. And you can see the effect of this. It's got, maybe you can see like a little bit of the grain there on the sneaker. So it's not a smooth leather. You can see some of the grain on it. And it's a really cool color. I think also this is showing up possibly a little bit lighter on camera than it is in real life. And this is not a navy. It's not a light blue either. It's probably a little bit darker than you're seeing on the camera, at least the way it looks on my screen over here. All right, so it looks like we've added the Cedric Boot in Blue back to the collection. Hey, Jonathan, how are you? All right, and then the next shoe I'm going to show, Death Adder, with the signature collection. We're actually going to, again, we had too many shoes, and we're going to do something separate just for our signature line, because we did add some new signature shoes, and I'll actually show you a couple of them. But we're going to do a special event just for signature, and that'll probably be after Factory Access. So we did. Oh, actually, I need to show I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let me show you guys the white sneakers. So this is our new Count sneaker. Forgot to fix the laces. But this is our new Count sneaker, and here it is in white. And we also did a couple of really cool color combinations in this sneaker, which is our Storm, our Mocha, and our Ice, and you'll see those on the website. I actually don't have them here with me. Those are still at our photographers. Those came in pretty late, and they were still getting photographed up until a few days ago. So this is our new Count sneaker. And all our sneakers, you guys may have noticed that we have a women's sneaker collection now also. And, you know, tell your wives, every sneaker that we have in this collection, we have it for both men and women. And then we also have a few special colors just for men, which is our rose or fuchsia, our mint, and our lavender. And lavender is like a purplish, a rose is a pink, fuchsia is fuchsia, and our mint is like a green color. And I'll show all of those to you guys in a second as well if you want to see them. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, our linings, if you guys don't know, all our linings are full grain leather as well. Our insoles on our sneakers are shock absorbing insoles, and I don't like pulling them out, but maybe I will. Show these to you guys in a second. And all our outsoles on all of our sneakers are Margam outsoles. So this is our new Count sneaker, and then we did a few new colors in our Maximo sneaker. We actually haven't done a new Maximo sneaker in, like, I'd say 3 years, since 2017, maybe a little bit more. But this is a white version of our Maximo high top, and we also have this in the Storm and in the Mocha color combination, which is pretty cool. And again, those are all in our glove leather as well. And this is actually a really cool color. This is our Sand Duke sneaker, and again, we have it in men's and women's, and it's a little bit like an off-white, like peachish kind of color, but it's actually pretty manly, and it can go well for women as well, but it's a pretty cool color. So I know that I missed something, the signature. Yeah, so we did create some new signature shoes. This is our first single bong strap in signature. Looks upside down. There you guys see it. And these are in our signature outsoles, our signature patina, our signature leather, signature insoles. And as Julian is telling you guys in the comment section, we're going to be releasing these completely separately. And one of the reasons that we are going to do that is that there's so many new things in this collection between our monk strap sneakers, the glove leather, the sport collection with the EVA outsoles. It kind of became like we started writing descriptions for everything, and just became really difficult, like putting in all this information on one page, and it became a little bit complicated and confusing. So we figured we're going to leave these and just give them the attention that they need. And we actually also left out a complete other collection that we created of something really, really unique. But to be frank, it's travel related, and now was probably not the best time to launch that. So we have something really special hopefully coming up in the next few months or later this year. Something completely new, something that no one's done before, and we're really excited to show you that. But now it's just not the right time for that. What else? Oh, also the other thing we introduced are the woven sneakers. The woven sneakers and also woven dress shoes. So I don't know if you guys saw these in the collection. So these are really particular, and of course, you know, it's not really for everyone, but it's a really, really cool shoe. There's a lot of handwork that goes in this. If you can see over here, the camera focuses properly, but this is all braided by hand. And you can buy them pre-made, and it's like a stamped leather, and that's the easy way out of making a shoe like this. But ours are not that. Ours is a completely hand braided leather, which we then polish and then we color ourselves. So this actually takes a lot of work by our artisans. So these shoes take a long time to make. The recrafting, man, the recrafting has been definitely a challenge. We have not found the right partners to do that. We've tested a bunch of them, but just nothing that we've really been happy with. We're gonna end up having to bring that in house, and we got to grow a little bit more and have a few more of our shoes out there before we can. It makes sense for us to be frank with you. We've only been around. This is our third, fourth year, so right about now is hopefully we start getting some more people out there that are going to start needing recrafting, and we'll get some more requests coming in, and that'll make a little bit more sense for us to do that. John, your son asked for penny loafers. Which any particular ones? We got a lot in this collection. A lot that we did release, a lot that we did not even release. But let me go through that. So first, I'll show you guys my favorite of the loafers is this one. And again, it's with our lighter outsole. And you'll see here we used also a super soft, full grain calfskin leather. These are really intended to be easy slip on and go pair of shorts, summer or spring. Really fun to use, nothing very serious. If you want something comfortable for every day, just to slip on as you're walking out the door, that was really my thought process for these, but obviously still looking super cool, super stylish, and very unique and different. And you'll see me doing this throughout our collection, because one of my goals in making this new collection was offering a lot. We're already very comfortable, as most of you guys know. I wanted to take that to the next level. I wanted to offer really, really comfortable uppers, comfortable leathers, and made everything as soft as possible. So I'm going to be doing that a lot. And then we got this. And this is a chisel leather. This is a new material that we're using as well. It is calfskin, and this is actually done. It's a process to make the leather look like this. But I thought it was pretty cool, so I added it into the collection when I found this material. And then I actually like this one a lot. Loafers, I try to be really different. And actually, I made the samples unlined, so that's why you may see that. But in production, we're going to make it lined. That was my mistake, my miscommunication. But this is our blue with a Koyo, also on the lighter color outsoles. Thank you, Marcia. And Marcia, now we have shoes for you too. Let me see what else I'm going to bring. Another loafer. Oh yeah, for the first time, we have a bit loafer. Lots of you guys have asked us for this for a really, really long time, and finally we've got one. And we have this in this walnut color, which is also a new color for us, and our black color. So we have this available in 2 colors. You'll see it on the site. I only have the walnut with me. I do not have the black one on me. What am I missing out on? Yeah, and Boiler, I mean, the one that I like the most is actually Leather Spa for recrafting up in New York. But the issue is, and this is really one of the issues that we have. We offer our prices are so low that to recraft one of our shoes costs almost as much as buying a new one. Because I mean, it's like when you go to recraft a Berluti shoe, you know, you're spending 150, 200 bucks, but you spent $2,000 on that shoe. Here with us, you spend maybe $200-300 on the pair of shoes, and it's going to cost you just as much to recraft it. And I know lots of people want to keep their shoes forever. You know, they've broken the upper, but it's becomes this decision. So that's been the other challenge. So the really, really good recrafters that I would trust our shoes with, that know how to work with a luxury shoe and not damage it, then they happen to be expensive. So I'm reading the comments and trying to talk at the same time. Braiding, any lookbooks coming? Yeah, we're gonna try to get Lewis on the lookbooks as soon as possible. That's one thing he has left. We told him, you know, he has a few days after we launch the campaign to get that done. Love the blue. Thank you guys. Thank you, Marsha. Marsha, since you seem to be the only woman in the room, I'm going to show you our sneakers in the women's colors. I hope you like them. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that your husband's enjoying them. Awesome, Adnan. I'm glad to hear that you like the mystery box. Yeah, that mystery box concept seems to really have worked really well. You guys love it. The reactions have been amazing. We're really shocked. We're really shocked to see the response to those mystery boxes. But man, I'm really happy that we're able to get more shoes in your hands, and you guys like them, and you guys like the whole concept. Okay, 2 questions. What is the price for shipping to Europe? That depends on the number of shoes, how big the order is, but I think for 1 or 2 pairs, it's about $18, $20. Will you pay import taxes? You will not pay import taxes in the EU, and VAT is included in the price. So it's showing $199, and you put in the cart, it shows $189 because we sent out an email for the first 24 hours. We're giving $10 off each order. So that's why you're seeing that in the cart. Yeah, Boiler Deuce, in my opinion, send them back for $50 credit and get new ones. I'd say that's probably not a bad way to go right now, especially if it's one of our mainline core products that's on our website. Of course, if it's one of our limited edition shoes they purchased in factory access or during a Kickstarter campaign, then we probably don't offer that shoe anymore. And that's something, if you guys don't know, anything that you see in factory access, I'd say 99% of it we're never going to offer again. So this is truly my chance to make whatever I want and offer it all to you guys. And the reason is we don't buy inventory in this. So that gives me like the creative freedom to just do what I want. You know, you guys decide what you guys like from what I make, and then we make it just for you. So that really gives us, that's the only reason we're able to do this. And that's another reason most of these will never be available again. We just do them as limited editions, very small batch productions, and then yeah. Marsha, the mystery box. All right, Julian's got you over there. So let me keep on walking you guys through this collection. I'm going to show you something that we did not release, just because. Oh, actually no. Before we go to that, so you guys will notice on our site that there's a new color, and that's walnut. And so I'm going to, and actually we did not end up releasing this shoe in walnut, the Mateo. We ended up releasing it just in the cognac nickel. And so you can see the difference between walnut, or maybe you can't because monitors are really different sometimes. But on this hand over here, this is walnut, and this is cognac. So you see it's a little bit of a richer brown. Cognac has a little bit more red in it, but it's also not like a regular brown that's just kind of flat. This has a little bit more depth to it, a little bit more richness to it. So let's do. So Andre, yeah. So the price you see is that plus shipping. Correct. Yeah, we really wanted to again, Andre, just to give a little bit more information on what Julian's giving. We really wanted to make this easy for everyone. Everyone's, especially in Europe, I know in the past, your last Factory Access campaign, the VAT was a little bit of a roadblock. So we've worked a lot to take that away. Yeah, I guess Boiler, you do have some more crafting to do. Factory Access offer. So women's shoes, Marsha. Sorry guys, I'm trying to read and present at the same time. All right, Marsha, I'm going to show you some of the shoes. All right. And actually, then I'm going to go back. And I love this shoe also. I don't know if you guys saw this one yet, but I love this one. All right, Marsha, this is for you over here. So here we have, Marsha, I'm not sure if you're familiar with our sneakers, but all of our sneakers are full grain calfskin leather. They're made by the same artisans that make our dress shoes. Everything's made in Italy. Our outsoles are stitched to the uppers. They're not glued or cemented. And that's just for longevity. It's a much better construction than a cemented sneaker. And we use only Margam outsoles, which are considered some of the best outsoles in the industry, if not the best in the industry. Excuse me. And they're 100% pure rubber, which is a higher quality. A lot of lower quality outsoles use a mix of rubber and other materials, which wears much faster. So that's one of the reasons Margam is considered one of the best. Yeah, and our women's sneakers are going to come from women's sizes 5 to 10, including half sizes. So whatever, typically our sizes run, but half a size smaller than Nike. So we're true to brand sizing for dress shoes. So if you're like a size 6 in Nike, buy a size 5.5 with us. So this is our women's sneaker, the Duchess, play on the Duke, in rose. Then we also have it in lavender, which is like a light purple. And unfortunately, I know that on the screens and even the pictures that we took, the colors don't come out very well in these two shoes. So this is the rose and the lavender. And then we also have it in a mint green. Looks maybe a little bit better, but also not true to life over there I see on my screen. And then again, anything that you see in men's is available also in women's. So everything from our wine colored Dukes. We also have a wine colored Duchess. Same thing with our white smoke color. Also comes in the Duchess. So anything that you see in the men's is also going to be available in the women's, except there's a few colors made specially for women in our women's section. Okay, the Captos that you missed, KM. Thank you, Marsha. I'm glad that you like them. Yeah, and what we like to do, and one of the benefits of especially a campaign like Factory Access, where we don't buy the inventory first, it allows us to be much more flexible with the sizes. So that's why we offer here a size 15 in men's. We go all the way down to size 5 in men's as well. And we've realized that size like 5 to 7, 7.5 is a very underserved segment of the men's market. And same thing from size like 13 to 15. So this gives us an opportunity to have unlimited availability in all those sizes. Whereas on our website, we do carry those sizes in men, but it doesn't sell as much. So we don't carry as much of a stock in size 14s, 15s, or 5s and 5.5s. Here we have no limitation. That's one of the cool things here too. So KM, you want to see the cap toes. So the cap toes that you saw are these, the Mateos. And this is actually the one that you'll see on our site. And this, yes, it's very similar to our Griffin. The biggest difference between the Mateo and our Griffin cap toe is this line over here. So whereas our Griffin cap toe, the line comes down like that, and it's a much more traditional cap toe. This is what I call more of like an architectural cap toe Oxford, where you have this piece that goes up. And you can see, we didn't release this one either, but you can see over here, one of the biggest reasons that I created that line over there like that was to do a lot more two-tone, but we ended up cutting a lot of the two-tones. The Dino Novella Blue Nico and Cuello. Yeah, man, that's a really cool shoe. And unfortunately, that Dino is one of the shoes that's at our photographer's studio. I wish I had it to show it to you. Inserts, John, let me see. I wear 7.5 Alden, the size written for loafers. So when it comes to inserts, the most difficult thing is how thick those inserts are. If you wear 7.5 Alden loafers with those inserts, Alden is also sized according to US brand sizing, as are we. So you'll most likely be the same size in our shoes. It depends on the last, so make sure that we're talking about an Alden with a last that's similar to our last. So I know that in Allen Edmonds, our last is probably very similar in shape and fit to their 65 last, which is what they use in their Park Avenue shoes. Excuse me. So just make sure that the last is more or less the same size, but we should be sized the same. And if you have any doubt, just go to any store and although I can't really go to the store now, but we're sized according to this device, which is the US standard. So you just take your measurement on this and you're going to end up with your Ace Mark size. We also have printouts available in our size guide and our sizing section. So take a look at that as well. Thank you. And yeah, and I see Timbers and Boiler, you guys are discussing the Dinos. The Dinos is something that I really wanted to make pop and stand out. So usually when you make a shoe, you put the darker color in the front and the toe, and then the middle section is the lighter color, which is, you know, why this patina makes sense. If the patina was inverse, and I've seen it, you know, I don't want to say it looks weird because I think it looks kind of cool, but it's not what people are used to seeing. So you always see the darker than lighter. So with those Dinos, I wanted to do the opposite. I wanted it to be a really contrasting shoe, like really striking. And so I used the lighter colors on the toe and the heels, and then I put the darker colors in the middle. So like inverse of what you would usually what would be typical. I've been nice in the toe with contrasting suede accented laces. Raphael, did I bring that here? No, yeah, I think that one I canceled earlier. Yeah, so I have a love-hate relationship with suede, and while I love the material, like for example, like what I was going to do on the Mateo is something that I did end up sampling. So on the Mateo, it didn't make it past my my thought stage and my initial ideas for the collection. But in the Theo, we did end up with suede over here. But frankly, we ended up cutting both of these two Theos just because we had like 15 Theos, I think. And we cut it because ultimately every time we offer suede, I know there's a bunch of you guys that like suede, but everyone seems to be much more drawn to our patinas and to the contrast and to the coloring. And usually I end up cutting a lot of the suede collections that I make because frankly, you guys haven't reacted to them as well as our leather shoes. Although I know there's a few suede guys out there. And our Vincent and Brown and Blue Suede is one of our best-selling shoes, so go figure. Can you do a side-by-side with a Diablo and Rubino? Yes. So, Raphael, anyways, that's my rant about suede. I like it and actually usually sample it a lot, and I make a lot of styles in it, but then it ends up being one of the first ones to get cut. Side by side with Diablo and Rubino coming up. Okay. Now this is mine. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me grab a Diablo shoe. This is mine also. Okay. All right. So side by side comparison, Diablo and Rubino. So our Diablo is in this holka with a buckle. Rubino is on the boot. See, Rubino is a lighter color. It's closer to what you'd consider like an oxblood. It's like a lighter version of the Diablo. And a Diablo is like a deeper, darker color. And this is pretty reddish. But I guess because it doesn't have as much saturation of the dark brown, like, I don't know. But this is Rubino, this is Diablo. That's the Andrea live questions. I ordered 2 sneakers. Yes, Andre, we size everything the same. So we size everything the same, and that's one of the things that when I started Ace Marks, I wanted to make sure that we got right, which is the reason that we started by making it last before we made any shoes. I know that ordering shoes online is really difficult. A lot of people have a lot of concerns about sizing, fit, and even when you buy from the same brands, different styles, you can go and buy a monk strap and it's built on one last, and you go buy an Oxford and it's built on another last. So we don't do that. Everything in our collection, sneakers or dress shoes, is sized exactly the same. So if you're an 8 in our sneakers, you're an 8 in our monk straps, you're an 8 in our Oxfords, you're an 8 in everything. So with us, like once you buy your first pair of Ace Marks, it's always possible that there may be a sizing issue in exchange, but once you get it right the first time, or once you figure it out the first time, you can have the confidence, and no matter what shoe you buy from us, it's the same size. I'll tell you the one exception every now and then is if someone has a very high instep and their Oxfords fit in a size 8, a Loafer, because it doesn't have a lacing system, you may end up having to go up half a size. But that's more the exception than the rule. Are there any more women's shoes? No, right now, Marsha, we only made the sneakers and women's shoes, but it's a pretty big collection. I think of maybe 18 or 20 different options for you. Let's see. With the one look like, when is it coming? It's so beautiful. I'm gonna get the Mateo in black for sure. I'm looking for nice classic black. Yeah, so Cam, the Mateo in black is obviously available, and the walnut. We do have walnut throughout the collection, just not in the Mateo. In the Mateo, we went with. Well, to be frank with you guys, to have 2 browns, we end up splitting the orders, and this shows a little bit better. So if you look at the pictures, like this cognac nickel, the contrast, it just photographs better than the walnut. You can't really see the depth of walnut in the pictures, and it just kind of looks like a brown, whereas this attracts a little bit more attention. It looks a little bit more different. So frankly, that's how we chose between the walnut and the cognac nickel in this particular style. That's not to say, again, that we don't have walnut. We do have walnut throughout the collection. But in the Mattel, just the cognac. Actually, I'll show you guys those in a second. Let me answer some more of the questions before I get too far behind. No, Rubino is definitely not closer to our brandy. Let me show you brandy versus Rubino. So this, I don't remember if we released this last year or not. I think we did, actually. This is a Henry. So this is Brandy, and this is Rubino. And I guess it does look a little bit close in the video, in the picture, but it's definitely not in real life. This is, you can definitely see the red here, and here there's no red. I mean, I guess it's a little bit of a reddish tinted brown, but this is not like that. Again, think of Rubino as an oxblood, or as a lighter Diablo. So actually, that's probably a better way to explain it. You know, the colors that how I speak to the factory in terms of color is different than what we present. So this, like the Diablo to our factory is a Rosso Diablo Oscuro, which is a dark Rosso Diablo, and this is just Rosso Diablo. So this, I just didn't want to name it Light Diablo, which would have been confusing. So I named it something different. So, but Rubino is really a light Diablo. Let's say I like them too. Awesome. Yes. Is there any difference in grip between the Sport collection? Hold on, I'm falling back, guys. 1 second. Oh, you're welcome, Andrew. Thanks, H. Yeah, our customer service, and I know Kevin, who's part of our customer service team, and Philly are probably on here also checking it out. But yeah, we really, customer service is one of the things that we really strive to always do. Give 5-star service, because you know we have 5-star luxury shoes, and that's what's expected. But it's really something that we really pride ourselves on. So thank you for acknowledging our team, and thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Billy. Width of the sneakers. Width is it's a normal D width, but our sneakers in general are probably slightly wider than our dress shoes. But I wouldn't really take that too much into account. Just think of them as D width. At the same time, compared to like a Nike sneaker, with probably a little bit narrower. Yeah, and Timbers, thank you for the assist over there. And I look forward to seeing you in the comment section as well. And Cody too. I wonder if he's on here. The difference between the Sport collection soles and a rubber sole in the dress shoes. So yes, there definitely is. I think an outsole manufacturer will tell you that there is no difference in grip. But I generally think that a pure rubber outsole tends to grip a little bit better. That's not to say that this does not have a good grip. It has a really good grip. And you can see the pattern that we have on the outsole as well to add to that. So it grips really well. This is not something they have an issue. I know that I've seen actually some EVA outsole shoes where instead of having like a little striations over here, see that little bit of a diamond pattern? Let's see if we can focus there. There's a diamond pattern on here. I've seen in the past EVA shoes that are just like smooth, or maybe have like a few lines cut through it, and those are slippery like a leather outsole. This is not that. So these do have a grip on them. Hope that answers your question, Rafael. And again, for those of you that missed it in the beginning, all of our sports shoes, they are Blake stitch construction, so they're actually stitched. It's not glued. All of our shoes are stitched, either Goodyear or Blake, including our sneakers. It's all stitched. We don't take any shortcuts, and all our leathers in our sports shoes and our suedes, really, really soft. Everything we did this collection, soft as can be. And again, I know that you guys are going to be wearing these day in and day out. It's your everyday shoe, so I figured it's got to be really soft. So Rubino's roughing between Brandy and Diablo. Yeah, I guess you can say that. I'll stick to my light Diablo description though. So, at the same time with him. I'm sorry to make you drill boiler. And I feel you're awesome. Be there. Thank you, Marsha. I appreciate it. And I hope you stick with us for the next 10 factory access campaigns. And in between too. Awesome, H. I'm glad to hear that that Philly took care of you. Luke, I wish those Dino Saddle Oxfords came in late, and our photographer did not give them back to me yet. I need to go get them. Probably on our next live stream, I'll have them for you to show. But yeah, those are really cool. In the black with the gray, with the light gray, that's actually a nice shoe. But yeah, I hope to those Dinos for you guys next time we go live. Not today. Julian will probably be going live later this afternoon, but hopefully we'll have them in the next few days. And actually, I want to ask you guys a question. So we were thinking of going live, if not every day, possibly every other day. If there's anything you guys want us to talk about or want to hear more about, maybe people that you want us to have on here with us, please let us know. I think it's a great opportunity to just get a little bit more in depth to talk about our process, the shoemaking process, maybe the shoe industry in general, or any other industry that's related to menswear, men's style. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. So Megan sending out the shoe. Thanks, Warrior. Join us. Come back anytime. Hope you have a good call. Yeah, and as Julian is saying regarding the production, our factory is thankfully not affected. It's nowhere near the epicenter of what's going on in Italy, and they're still operating. So we do not expect any delays. Their only issue right now is, unfortunately, they just don't have a lot of orders because everyone pretty much canceled on them. So we really would like to use this factory access campaign as also a way to keep them working over the next few months, because I know they're going to be struggling, as is every other industry in Italy and the world right now. So we really hope that we can keep them working over the next few months and being able to pay their artisans and all the people and the providers that really make up the shoe industry over there. Awesome. Thank you, Marcia. And thank you, Andre, for being understanding. Yeah, Andre, we'll we try to support as much as possible. So I'm glad you appreciate it. Yeah, Cam, you're going to have to create a separate password for factory access. They're two separate systems. Awesome. Thanks, Timbers. Yeah, we'll figure this part out. Hey, Carlos, how are you? Good morning. It's afternoon now. Shipments for this campaign are going to go out in August, so you can let them know. And thank you for supporting us, Carlos, for all these years. For you guys that don't know, Carlos has been with us, I'd say, since our first campaign. He was one of our early adopters back in 2016, and he's been super supportive of us through the last 4 years. So really appreciate that. Yeah, and H, that's exactly what we're thinking. A lot of people are working from home right now, and I have some time to kill. And frankly, as do we. The office right now is just me. We had someone in here earlier today in the warehouse, just shipping the orders. But other than that, everyone is working from home. Julian is remote right now. Our customer service team is remote right now. Bookkeeping, accounting is remote right now. So we're all in the same situation. So Marsha, I'm in Miami. So from what they say, we're not terrible, but hopefully everyone takes precautions seriously, and hopefully we can get through this sooner rather than later. Yes, driving shoes, Raphael. We're probably going to release the same ones as before. I did not make new ones. Frankly, the time where I go make those driving shoes was now in February, and unfortunately, I was not able to do that because of the travel restrictions. So we'll probably just re-release the ones from last year. Adnan, so all of our shoes are available in all sizes, which is why we don't have that filter. Julian can talk. Oh, you mean on our website, not on our factory access? Um, Carlos, do you mean from factory access when the shipments would be, or from our regular website? Our regular website is shipping as usual. We have someone coming into the warehouse, just one person, taking care of the orders a few hours a day, and that's it. Actually, two people, not one. Yeah, we can have some fashion guys. We're thinking to have some other brands, um, possibly some other shoe brands as well, to talk about a little bit of what's going on in the industry right now. Obviously, we're all going through a lot of changes, so whatever would be interesting to you guys. So on factory access, every shoe is available in every size, so there's no restriction there. But in terms of color, yeah, we could possibly do that. Is there a particular color that you're looking for? Yeah, I'm sorry, Rafael. I wish. We're really looking forward to releasing a new some new driving mocks this year. Yeah, Carlos, factory access is going to be shipped as expected in August, which is our typical shipping date for factory access. Thanks, Roop. Appreciate it. Have you purchased any other pair since the first Kickstarter campaign? Thanks, Carlos. So, if there's anything that you guys want to see, I'm assuming we probably have a different crowd right now than we did about an hour ago or 45 minutes or so ago. So I'm happy to go through any styles that you guys want to see closer up. Earlier today, we went through this latte color, the lighter color outsoles that we're using to give a little bit more of a sportier look to some of our shoes. I went through our loafers and how we're using really, really soft leathers on everything. Also, these lighter outsoles, these are intended to be like easy to go slip-on shoes that keep you looking good, but it's also not a pain in the butt to put on or not a pain in the butt to wear all day. It's a really nice, comfortable shoe. Hey, Francesca, how are you? Adnan Burgundy. So in Burgundy, which we call either oxblood or Rubino, you're going to find a couple options. One is going to be, do you want a boot or a shoe? And I'll actually walk you through our Burgundy or Rubino options right now. Yes, Jonathan, in terms of, Marshall, I'll answer your question quickly first. So factory access pricing, it's typically on our website, you'll see our prices are about $299 for an average pair of shoe, a little bit more for a boot or a hole cut. But in factory access, our typical price is $199. And the reason for that is we don't have any inventory risk. The trade-off for the lower prices is that we don't ship immediately. You do have to wait about 3 or 4 months to get the shoes. So once this campaign ends in April, end of April, we're going to send the orders to the factory and then manufacture it and ship this in August. So that's how we're able to lower our prices and pass those savings on to you guys. And so that's what really factory access pricing is. At the same time, it's all limited edition shoes that we've never made before and that we're never going to make again. And as I explained earlier, it just gives me the creative freedom to make anything that I want without having to take into account inventory. And that allows me to create so many shoes because it would be just cost prohibitive to stock all these shoes at once. And also it gives you guys the opportunity to save a little bit and also buy some really exclusive and really unique shoes that nobody else has. And I'll tell you, like we produce, thankfully it doesn't happen too much, but we can produce sometimes, even if something's not popular, it's a color that maybe only 5 or 6 people purchase. Literally, you guys are the 5 or 6 people in the entire world that are wearing that shoe or that have that shoe and that will ever have that shoe. So there's a level of exclusivity with factory access that you don't find anywhere else. You're never going to find, I shouldn't say never, you may run into one of the other 4 people, but it's highly unlikely that when you buy a shoe from factory access that you're ever going to see somebody on the street wearing that shoe. So you don't have to worry about be concerned with wearing something that's very common. This is all really exclusive, all very small batch, very limited edition. So Yeah, and when it comes to shoe care products, so actually, I'd love to talk a little bit about about shoe care right now, Jonathan. So I'm glad that you brought that up. We do make a shoe polish, and it's made in France, and it's very, very comparable to the Saphir Medal d'Or Pâté Deluxe. And we make it in 4 colors, which is dark brown, medium brown, black, and a neutral. So, we have on our website, we explain which color is best for which color shoe. But really, that's the only thing that you need to take care of a shoe, of one of our shoes especially. Oh, that product is an all natural product. It doesn't have any chemicals in it. It's got nutrients for the leather in it. It's got wax to protect the leather. It creates a protective barrier over the leather. So you don't really, and it also restores the color. So it's almost like an all-in-one product. It's not necessary to apply too many different creams and other polishes. And I know a lot of people stock up on lots of different products, and it's fun to use them. But sometimes it hurts more than it helps. So the least amount of product that you can put on a shoe to maintain it, it's usually the better. You don't want to end up with a shoe that's caked up full of product and starts cracking. So really, our shoe polish is all you need for a shoe. That's what's used at the factory to make the shoe, to finish the shoe, to color the shoe, and that's what we offer to you guys to restore the shoe. There's really no need for anything else. And I guess I'd throw in here right now an issue that we see a lot in our customer service department is people using Saphir or Novateur. Novateur is a great product, except that our shoes are made on crust leather. And I'll show you guys right now what that means. And it can damage the shoe. So when you get into the world of really high-end luxury shoes, like a Berluti, for example, or Santoni, and an Ace Marks, we all start on the same base leather. So this is how one of our shoes comes to life. So this is called a crust calfskin leather, and it's what's used by all the top really high-end luxury manufacturers. And we color this, we stain this, we dye this, we do everything on here by hand. So every single shoe that you see here, from this blue to this latte, a brandy, this orange, every single shoe started off just like this. And everything that you see, any finished color that you see, uses this base. And when you use Saphir or Novateur, unfortunately, that's a pretty harsh product that's not intended for this level of material, and it can damage the material, and for sure it's going to strip the paint. Saphir has other products which are better replacements for Novateur for shoes made on crust calfskin leather. And off the top of my head, I don't remember exactly what that is, but I can look that up for anyone that's really interested. And it's a more of a gentle product. There's a few articles that have been coming out recently because the world of shoe polish and shoe maintenance has kind of been blowing up right now. So a lot of people are buying a lot of products, and people just assume because it's a Saphir product they can use it on any high-end shoe. But the reality is that even within Saphir, there's different products that are intended for different types of leathers, colors, and materials. So just be really careful with what you put on these shoes. Our wax polish or Saphir Medal d'Or Pâté Deluxe is more than enough. It's what the factory uses, and it's more than enough to maintain our shoes for an extremely long time. So the Mason single strapped hole cut black antique, please. Yes, I'll show that to you right now. And actually, I'll add one more thing. This is how our sneakers start off too, except for the glove leather. The glove leather does not start off as crust, but all of our other sneakers start off just like this. So everything that we do is done by hand. So this is the Mason single strap hole cut in black antique. And I apologize, it's slightly creased because this was worn for a full day by one of our models. It's really cool. I really liked, this is kind of a traditional hole cut base, except we added a buckle to it to make it a little bit different. And it's really nice. It adds a little bit of I want to say class, but I can't say that a whole cut is not classy in and of itself. So I'm kind of at a loss for words, but it's a really, really nice shoe. And I actually really love it in the gray nickel. You can see it like this. Let me see what else you guys have. Shooting. Yeah, Marvin, all of that is offered in our campaign. We do have shoelaces, shoe trees, accessories, socks. All of that is available in the campaign this time, just like every other time as well. Yeah, you know what? Actually, the color recommendations for the new colors. Yeah, we can do that as well. Let me just write a quick little note. You know, I'm not sure why we didn't do that. I had that in mind. Let me see here. Being unique and creative is amazing to us. Yeah, and that's what I really like about this. I think that Factory Access is just like a win-win overall for everyone. And obviously, you know, we started on crowdfunding. We launched on Kickstarter back in 2016. And while I think we kind of outgrew Kickstarter, that whole concept of just having no limit and what we're able to create, and at the same time making it really unique, limited, small batch, and being able to offer it at a lower price. I mean, it's like a no-brainer. So we like to follow that tradition, even though our regular traditional website business is you know, the biggest part of our business right now. This is something that we really like to do, especially for our longtime fans that have gotten used to it. The reality is not everyone's willing to wait 3 to 4 months for a pair of shoes. Everyone wants it, you know, yesterday. But for those willing to wait, there's, you know, I think a pretty nice reward. Thank you, Carlos. Going with you guys to rate this. So Mateo and walnut. Can we order it or no? So okay, the Mateo and walnut is no, it's not available right now in this campaign. You know, maybe what we'll do, and we've done it in every other campaign, and you know, depending on how the reaction is right now, maybe we'll throw it out to you guys. We'll do like a little contest for you guys to choose between the shoes that we did not include in the collection, to choose between that and what you want us to add. Maybe we'll let you guys add 1 or 2 shoes, and we'll probably do that towards the end. So it's not out of the question, but we'll kind of talk about that, and we'll have lots of chances to talk over the next couple of weeks. We'll all discuss it together, and we'll make a community decision of what you guys want to do. So you know, we'll figure out to send out a poll of whether you guys want to do that or not. So we'll figure that out. And you know, for those of you that have not been with us for the last few campaigns, you know, we try to make this as community oriented as possible. So we really want you guys to participate. Let us know what you think. A lot of the shoes that I made here, it's, you know, I say that it's my creativity, but it's really your creativity as well. You know, Carlos always gives me his input. There's lots of guys that send us emails and say, hey, like I really would like to see X from you guys, or would like to see you guys make something in, you know, color like this, our bourbon color actually, which is what we introduced last year. And right now, like I said earlier, on our website, it's hard for us to keep the Griffin and bourbon in stock. Same with the Kurt. But this was a color that was initially suggested during, I want to say, our second Kickstarter campaign back in 2017. People wanted like a yellowish, goldish color, and I honestly never thought to make a shoe in that color. And it was hard to really finalize this color and to make it look not too yellow and not too gold, and to get the right tone. It took us a couple of years, but we finally were able to release it last year in 2019, about 2 years after it was suggested. So these conversations that we have, these comments you guys send us, it's, you know, I take notes on it. You know, there's, you know, I have whatever email anyone sends us asking us to make something, I keep track of it and make sure that when I'm out there making our collections, I incorporate as much of it as possible. Actually, I should say the Dinos also. It came out of a suggestion for us to make saddle shoes or spectators, and so I try to incorporate a lot more of that into our collection. Maybe answer my question. You're welcome, Jonathan. Anytime. Let's see. Mason single. Okay. I think we're at. Yeah, I agree. Again, I'm going to look up the exact shoe care product that's appropriate for a crust leather. I want to say, I know that a lot of you guys follow Kirby Allison as well. I want to say that he recently recommended something for it. I think just now we're kind of in the early stages of people realizing that you can't just blanket recommend a product of Grenovateur or like any Saphir product. It needs to be much more specialized, especially if you're working with higher end shoes. And I guess you can say that we're kind of strange as a brand and as a company, and even as a pricing strategy, because even though we're priced in a $200 to $300 price point, the quality of our materials is that of the $600 to $800 and even $1,000 shoes. And so there's almost like a disconnect between the quality, the level of care that's needed, and the level of material that's needed to care for our shoes and our actual price point. So that's kind of throws people off sometimes. And, I get it, but it's really up to us then to start educating a little bit more. And thankfully, a lot of the guys that sell some of these products are starting to understand that a little bit. I've sent out emails reaching out to some, letting them know to please stop just blanket recommending things, but hopefully some of them will start listening. Care for suede. So we don't sell too much suede, but there are products just for suede. At the very minimum, after you wear suede, get a suede brush and brush it after every wear to make sure that it stays clean. If you get it wet, you can't really do that much. Try to dry it a little bit, but if you spill anything on suede, you want to make sure you take that out as soon as possible. Otherwise, it's going to stick to suede, and you're going to notice that spot for the rest of your life. So whenever you take off a pair of suede shoes, do what you can, at the very least, brush them and clean off anything that may have fallen on it. No, there's no need to condition this. Really, like, what's great about Saphir Spectate Deluxe product in our polish is, again, it's the nutrients. It's got, if you even read the description of it on Saphir's website, it tells you all the nutrients that it has to maintain the leather. And it adds a protective layer, and the colors, if you're using a colored, if you don't want to change the color of your shoe, you can use the neutral, which we do offer as well. It's really like there's no need to do too much to these shoes other than just like the basic maintenance with a great product like that. And especially there's no need to put product on our shoes out of the box. So the final step at our factory is polishing. So we literally polish every single pair of shoes that comes out of our factory. We don't send anything with like a matte leather. You can see a slight sheen, a slight gloss to everything, and that's because it was polished with wax polish, with the exact polish that we sell. And that's exactly, again, how these colors came to be. I was just in the factory now in January or February, I don't remember. I think it was January, early January, and I spent the day just polishing shoes. And maybe we'll put up the video. I took it on my camera of me polishing. But yeah, it's all I did was use our wax polish on the base dye. So when I say a base dye, it's this crust leather, right? And if we're gonna make a Rubino or a Diablo or anything in the red family, this gets dyed like a bright red, and then we use dark brown wax polish, literally layer upon layer upon layer, just like pass over pass, some thinner, some heavier layers, some lighter layers, some more pressure, less pressure, and just like, I mean, it takes me, a few hours to do one pair of shoes. They're really good guys at the polishing part. They can do it in about like an hour or so for just the polishing part. But also depends on the color and the complexity. But yeah, that's all it is. That's all our shoes are. It's just crust, dye, wax, polish. So that should be good enough to maintain it as well. Yes, all our boots are on rubber outsoles. All right, let me yes, and actually we're just discussing shoe repair, because shoe repair and a recrafting service is something that I've been trying to work on since the very, very beginning. I always wanted that to be a part of our company. But to be frank, as I explained earlier, I've just had no luck with finding the right outside partner. We were very, very, very close with someone like a year and a half ago or so, and they unfortunately went out of business. Right now, as I suggested earlier, leather spa is a great place to go in New York. They're probably the ones that I've been most happy with their work. But still, the trade-off is, they're not cheap. I think they charge about $150 or so, or 170 for some resoles. And like for example, in factory access, you're going to pay about $199 for one of our shoes. So that's one of the difficult things of offering a really, really high-end shoe at the prices that we offer. Awesome, thanks, Charles. I look forward to speaking to Cody and Mateo. I haven't heard from Cody in a while. I know he was in the comment section a little bit. Carlos, you got you picked up the women shoes, the women Carlo? Marsha, yes, we will expand their women's line. I actually made an entire real women's collection now in June, and there are a couple. I saw it now when I was in January. We had it all made. I reviewed all the samples when I was there at the factory, but there were a few details that I wanted changed, and so they were working on that. So hopefully I'll have it. But I told them it's not a rush because we just weren't sure when we're going to be releasing it. So I'm not pushing too hard on them. I wanted to release this collection, which is huge, and we'll probably, as we said earlier today, release our new signature collection. Really, it's only two new signature shoes that we made, which is an apron front Oxford, and also our single monk, But we're going to create a dedicated campaign to that, and then there's all this whole other category that I'd like to say that we invented. I haven't seen anything like it before, but we'll probably be releasing that in a couple months. But yeah, so the women's, hopefully maybe by the end of the year or maybe early next year. But as soon as we start getting those samples in the way I like them, then I'll start showing them a little bit. The Theo Capto in Velo Blue, yes, one of my favorites from this collection. This is right here. This is a beautiful shoe. It's striking, contrasting. I mean, it should be striking in its contrast. It's amazing. This is probably going to be the one that I pick up for sure, because it's casual, it's nice, it says something about you. It's like a casual statement shoe. And this is on our light color outsole. And again, even on our dress shoes, we used this is not a glove leather. It's a thicker crust. I mean, it's a thinner crust than what we've used in the past. But all these like sportier looking shoes, I really wanted to make them soft. And again, you'll see me doing that a lot. Rubber outsole boots, Marvin. Yeah, like I said, all our boots are coming already on rubber outsoles. That's standard at this point. Tutorials for cleaning. Yes, we have, and we actually videotaped one months ago at this point. We actually made 7 or 8 videos, which we're a little behind on editing. I think we released our shoe care video. That's on our YouTube page, on our YouTube channel. But we do have some other tutorials that we're going to pull from that same session and build them and send them out. They're kind of, yeah, I just showed that. We're going to show you as well. It's on clean as well. Sunny. Thanks, Timbers. I appreciate it. Yeah, and at this point, I think we've done like 3 or 4 different blue tones. We have at some point with like a navy blue. We had our Avio blue, which was our first blue, and we have now this Vela blue. We did an ocean blue at some point. Yeah, we've done a lot of blues. And you know what's actually funny? We do really well with the blues during these campaigns, and then I brought a few blues onto the website, but they don't really move that well. I feel like it's like our real like hardcore customer, like our real fans that really appreciate like these different colors. And a guy that's just looking for a pair of shoes kind of leans towards the black or the brown. But you guys, that a lot of you guys have 10, 15, 20 pairs of our shoes. You're not going to buy another black or brown shoe. You want a cool blue. I get it. Um, Walter, todo lo que tenemos solo ofrecemos cuero. No usamos ni un sintético. Ni para las suelas. Las suelas son todo puro cuero y nuestras suelas de los sneakers son goma pura, goma natural. Gracias, Walter. Yeah, so I guess I think I caught up on the questions over here. Now I'm gonna walk you guys through a few more things. Let's see, where do we start? How about some things that we didn't release, or if there's anything that you guys want to see? I know we probably have a few more new guys on here, new people. So if there's anything that you want me to give you a closer look of, you know, our new Arancio color, which is kind of like a burnt orange. Feel free to let me know. I'm showing close-ups. Oh yeah, and Francesca, for those of you that don't know, that have never communicated with us through Instagram, Francesca handles our social media. So I see she's requesting there, if you have more than 10 pairs of Ace Marks, to take a picture and send it to us. We'll repost it. Yeah, a lot of people are stuck on black and brown shoes, and so I've thought a lot about that. And because you know, sometimes, especially early on, like we take things from that did really well in our crowdfunding campaigns, our factory access campaign, and put it on the website, and then it just doesn't perform. And I thought a lot, and the reality is that in a lot of situations, people that end up on our website, we're their first introduction into a better luxury shoe. Our price point again is pretty accessible, and the quality is much more than the price that we offer it at. So if you're going from spending 50 to 100, 150 bucks on a pair of shoes, and all of a sudden you're spending 300, you want something that's going to be very versatile or safe, and that ends up being black and brown for most people. So I think that's why a lot of people tend to go towards the black and the brown. And when we do these campaigns, which again is for real shoe aficionados, you guys buy the different colors and materials, and like to dress a little snazzy. Can I see the Charles Longwing in suede? Of course. There it is. Let me just fix up the laces for you a little bit. So this is a Charles Longwing in suede. And I was talking a little bit earlier about my my relationship with suede, and how I actually I do make a lot of shoes in suede, and I tend to cut them early because I make too many shoes. But this one we decided to keep, and it's a beautiful, really classic multi-material Longwing shoe. Dark brown on the outside and the exterior, and then we got the suede, dark brown suede in the middle. And I think that in the picture on the website, it probably looks a little bit darker than it is in person. This is not a light shoe by any means, but it's also not as dark as it shows in that picture. And pictures is something that we struggle with a lot, getting the right tones, getting the right colors. You know, I have actually 3 monitors in front of me, and I can put any picture in the 3 monitors, and it's always going to look a little bit different. So unfortunately, that's one of the struggles of selling shoes on the internet. Thank you, Antoinette. I'm glad you like them. If there's any other color that you want to see, let me know. So will they crease easily? So all our shoes, I mean, I can bend it for you a little bit. So yeah, suede is going to show less of a crease than leather. But any real leather shoe is going to crease. That's just inevitable. We have shoe trees, lasted shoe trees, to prevent the creasing, or I should say to reduce the creasing over time. It helps stretch out the leather a little bit back to its original shape, and that's why that's why lasted shoe trees, I think, are so important, because if you're not using a lasted shoe tree, especially when you're buying a high quality calfskin leather shoe, an off the rack shoe tree can stretch the shoe or misshape it, whereas a lasted shoe tree is going to help the shoe go back to its natural shape, to its intended shape, because our shoe trees are shaped exactly like the lasts on which the shoe is built. And that's, again, the importance of our lasted shoe tree. And shoe trees, lasted shoe trees are usually 100, 150 bucks for most makers. We don't do that. We make them extremely affordable, less expensive than most generic shoe trees, because I think it's really important that you guys make these shoes last a long time. And shoe trees are probably the single most important shoe care item that you can have for a pair of shoes. I would even say more important than polish, because the reality is most people don't polish their shoes, or a lot of people don't polish their shoes. But putting in a shoe tree after every time you wear a pair of shoes is really easy to do, and there's no skill required. So if there's any one thing that you do to take care of your shoes, put in a shoe tree. Croc upper monk strap cap though, yeah, I can show you that in a second. All right, so we're gonna go for the Theos in the Croc. There you go. So the Croc is actually really subtle. It doesn't stand out too much. So, you know, we sell our Kurt in black on our website, and that's just a more traditional plain toe black double monk strap. But for someone that wants to be a little more adventurous, but not too adventurous, and you know, just add a little bit of a different touch, this does just that. It's a black half toe monk strap. No one's going to notice the Croc unless they're really looking, but you know it's there, and someone that cares about shoes is going to notice it. But it's not something that's going to stand out and scream at anyone, hey, look at me, look at my shoes. So, which I think is pretty cool. Just a slight variation on the black. Ricardo Bit Loafer and black antique. So that's one shoe I don't have. That's also at our photographer's studio right now. But I can show you. Actually, you know what I can do? Do this. So the Bit Loafer, this is a loafer that we did. Also, just in a really soft loafer material. We're not releasing this. This is just a Greg in this new material, and we also have it in a walnut. But we just are releasing them in the Bit Loafer version. And so this, you see the Bit Loafer in the brown, but it's going to look like this. Again, I would show you the shoe, but it's at our photographers at the moment. And again, all our loafers, you know, as I've shown 100 times, really soft, comfy. This is the softest leather that we've ever used on shoes. And also explain, we sampled it unlined, but we're going to make it fully lined. ¿Cuál es? Mi modelo favorito de esta colección, Walter, te diría que es, bueno, como modelo, tengo muchos, son todos mis bebés, pero me encanta este zapato. Este es mi zapato favorito de esta colección. Me gusta el azul, el contraste con la suela, el color este más claro que estamos usando ahora por primera vez. Es un zapato así, se ve que es un zapato lindo, de lujo, elegante, pero también se puede usar como un zapato más deportivo y más así de día a día. Entonces este te diría que es mi favorito de estos. Pero de color, mis dos colores favoritos es este color nuevo que usamos, que lo estamos llamando Arancio, que es como un naranja, y este color latte. Y me gustan porque son diferentes, porque zapatos negros y marrones ya todos tienen, ¿no es cierto? Pero me gustan las cosas un poco diferentes. Y también en marrón me gusta este loafer acá. que también, este contraste me gusta bastante. All the bit loafers, we only did only 2-bit loafers. The 2 loafers, sorry, just 1-bit loafer. This is the bit loafer that we did. We have it in the walnut color and we have it in the black color. Very simple. It's the first time we ever do a bit loafer. So whenever we do something for the first time, we introduce them during one of these campaigns, and I like to get your reactions and your feedback. And if you want us to offer more variety in bit loafers, if this goes well, that's exactly what we're going to do. And again, to just add a little bit about what I was talking before, that these campaigns are for you guys. This is again, a creative outlet for me to push out whatever I'm thinking of, and at the same time to get your feedback and to include in these collections whatever you're thinking of. And so whatever you guys like here and whatever you want us to expand on, we're going to. Just to give you an example of that, again, we started speaking about the bourbon color. This is a color that was brought up by our customers, by you guys, back in 2017. We released it for the first time in 2018. In factory access last year, you guys loved this color. You guys bought it a lot, and now we've brought it onto the website. And that's how that chain works for us. So you guys suggest something, we test them in factory access. You guys love it, react to it, it becomes our core product. So really smart. And same thing with, just to give a few more examples, our belts. For some reason, I never thought of adding belts to our collection. But back in 2016, you guys suggested we should add belts. You guys got belts immediately, and that's a big part of our business now too. The matching belts. Same thing with all the shoe care accessories. Almost everything was suggested by you guys. So we're very much an interactive company, and take whatever you ask us to do. We actually act on it, and we count on it. So if you guys like bit loafers, to make a long story short, we'll make more bit loafers. Let's shoot these from Europe without having to pay a lot of shipping. So Benjamin, if you actually, I'm getting ahead of myself, but just quickly, during this factory access campaign, we do something very different than our typical website shipping. So during factory access, we'll ship, for factory access, we'll ship from 3 different points. For our European customers inside the EU, we actually ship from within the EU. So you're not going to you just pay regular shipping, which you'll see in this campaign. It's different for EU than for the US. Just pay for the shipping charge, which is lower than our typical shipping charge on our website. And you'll receive everything without having to pay any import duties or taxes because they never left the union. Our Canadian customers are going to be shipped to directly from inside of Canada. And same thing, it's less expensive than our typical shipping. And all our Canadian shipping prices on this campaign include duties, taxes, includes everything. So this is just probably the most cost-effective way to acquire our shoes is during these campaigns, and not just acquire our shoes, but acquire limited edition shoes that, as I said before, no one else is going to have. Benjamin, I'm glad that you enjoyed that information. Thank you. Look, shoe care, when you're spending this much money on a pair of shoes, or when you're buying this quality of a shoe care is a really important part of it. I think that's also something that gets lost sometimes. People that don't really understand high-end luxury quality shoes, they think because all of a sudden they're going to spend a lot of money on a pair of shoes, they almost should take care of themselves. But it's quite the opposite. If you're not spending a lot of money on a pair of shoes, if you're buying $50 shoes, you don't really have to care for them much because the materials tend to be synthetic, and frankly they don't scratch as much, or it's not real leather. It doesn't have the qualities of a real leather shoe. Whereas when you're buying a high-end shoe, you actually have to care for it more to really get value out of your investment. Because again, these shoes will last you a lifetime. $50 shoe, you don't expect it to last you the season. That's a big difference. So I'm glad you enjoyed the information on the lasted shoe trees. Have a quick drink over here. You want to see some of the woven shoes? Absolutely, H. I'm going to show you I actually showed the hole cut already, the Carlo. It's not really a hole cut because it's woven, but we called it that. I don't know the last shoe from here. Okay. Okay. So let's go to some women's shoes again. Where the okay. All right, so the woven sneakers we actually don't have. Those are another pair of shoes that are with our photographer. However, this is our woven loafer. And as I was explaining earlier, for those of you that missed it, I'm going to try to get the detail close over there. I don't know if you can see it, but this is not a stamped leather. This is actually a hand woven shoe. So this was all done by hand. You can probably, let me see if you can see it. I can lift the weave over there. So you can see it's not a stamped, it's not like a fake woven shoe, as you see a lot out there right now. This really takes a lot of time, a lot of work, a lot of craftsmanship to do and to make it look as beautiful as this does and as perfect. You can see the work over there. There's no edges lifting. It's all really finely placed. It's all symmetrical. You can see the work on this. Oh, there. Oh, it came out of focus. Let's see if we can get that focus again. But anyways, so it's really this is artisan craftsmanship. So all of our shoes are made by hand. They're handcrafted by artisans. I mean, this just goes to another level. So it's really, really nice. And once we get the weave in, then we color it and we dye it using our same process as our other shoes. So it's all hand dyed, hand burnished in-house. We have it in a loafer. We have it in a monk strap. We have it in a sneaker. We have it in a hole cut. And we have it in one more style in a Lewis, in a blucher. So it's really, really nice. If you have any questions about how we do this, please feel free to ask. This is something that's actually really special. But actually, that's pretty well. She's from Europe without having. I got that one. Gracias, Walter. Sí, y la horma, no sé si cuánto sabes de nosotros, pero nosotros creamos la horma antes de nuestra primera colección. Para mí la horma es lo más importante y todos nuestros zapatos están hechos en la misma horma. Entonces, lo que es importante de eso es que todos nuestros zapatos son de la misma talla. Lo que quiero decir es que si compras no sé, un mocasín de nosotros, un sneaker, lo que sea, siempre vas a hacer la misma talla. No tienes que preocuparte que si compras un estilo es una talla, otro estilo es otra talla. La horma es la misma, la talla es igual en toda nuestra colección. A boot in Arancio to show. I do have a boot in Arancio. Show the woman shoe, yeah. Sí, el brillo de los zapatos es por la cera. Lo que está explicando antes, usamos una cera que nosotros vendemos también, una cera de lujo de alta calidad, todo natural, y es lo que usan en nuestras fábricas para terminar el zapato, para ponerle el color. Todos nuestros zapatos empiezan así y después se enceran y se coloran, se tiñen y se enceran después. Todos vienen bien pulidos con el, ¿cómo se dice? Bueno, me olvidé la palabra, pero sí, es la cera más que nada. Y bueno, obviamente el cuero es de alta calidad, entonces eso importa también. Ok, Arancio boots. All right, these are our Cedrics and Arancio. And as I was explaining earlier, actually I should show first that they come with a rubber outsole. And as I was explaining earlier, something that we did different between these and our Hugo boots, which are a similar lace-up boot, make this a little bit prettier, is that these are a cap toe. Our Hugo boots were a plain toe boot. These are a cap toe boot. But in addition to that, we added a feature here It's going to make it a little bit easier to put these on and off. That was not very good. We added a zipper. So both of the boots that we're offering in this collection, so you can see, for really easy on and off. Both of the boots that we're offering in this collection, which is the Cedric and also the Julius, which I haven't shown yet. So this is our new Julius boot. It's an ankle boot with 2 buckles. Same thing. We got a zipper over here. Zipper and a pull tab. So these are going to be super easy to put on. And if you really wanted to, you just open up these buckles. Yeah. There's nothing fake here. So if you wanted to release these buckles, you can do it as well. I mean, it's going to be really easy to put these boots on. No, fundamentally, other than the cap toe and the zipper, there's nothing different between the Hugo and the Cedric. Although, I guess you can say, other than said about a lot of our shoes, fundamentally they're all shoes. But yeah, no, it's really just the cap toe and the zipper. That's the difference between the Cedric and the Hugo. Otherwise, they're both lace-up boots. Will we be doing another factory access in the future? Yes, we do factory access once a year, and throughout the year we'll probably do a couple of small releases. But factory access is our bigger release during the year. So yeah, we'll be doing another one next year. And as we said earlier, if you're interested in our signature collection, we're going to be creating a separate campaign for that, and that's probably going to come maybe a month or two after this factory access campaign. Correct. Yeah, so Timbers is correct, Francisco. That's one of the things about factory access, is that the styles that we create during these campaigns, it's just during these campaigns. We don't usually offer them again. What's nice also, if we do offer payment with Split It, which allows you to break up your payment over multiple payments over time, so you don't have to pay for the entire thing at once. So that may be helpful to some people as well. And that actually was pretty well received. We offered that last year too. So that's an option. Walter, mi correo es info@acemarks.com. info@acemarks.com. Originally, come on. I'm sorry that we couldn't help you celebrate your birthday, but better late than never. Yeah, and we were kind of sensitive to the whole situation and wanted to see. We sent out an email asking you guys, or surveying you guys, asking what you thought about the release, and most of you wanted us to go forward with this, so that's what we did. Wanted to keep a little sense of normalcy, as for the last 4 years, everyone's been used to us doing these campaigns and releasing these shoes around this time, and everyone's looking forward to it. So glad that we can hopefully add a little bit of normalcy to everyone's life right now. At the very least, we can talk shoes. What do you guys think if so it's a little bit more interactive, because I kind of feel like I'm talking to myself here. I know you guys are asking questions in the chat, but what do you guys think if we do like a Zoom meeting at some point? That way we can all see each other and talk a little bit. Maybe that's more interesting. Make it a lot more interactive, discuss shoes. Let me know what you guys think. So I'd love to see the spectators. Yeah, Matt, I'd love to show them. The problem is that those spectators, the Dinos, actually, I'm sorry, the Dinos are at our photographer's studio right now. However, you can see these. Are these the ones that you wanted to see? Yeah, actually, Adelaide's. We offered Adelaide's we had Adelaide's, I want to say in our 20, I don't remember if it was our 2017 or 2018 campaign. And yes, that's something I need to bring back. I've noticed that there's lots more Adelaides. There are a lot more Adelaides out there recently, or at least more visibly. Matt, let me know if this is the one they wanted to see. If there's something else they wanted to see. Yeah, I think I like the idea of the Zoom meeting. I was just thinking of that yesterday, but I didn't want to change up this format too soon. Cool. So let's do Zoom. And again, if there's anything that you guys want to discuss during a Zoom meeting, anyone that you want to see, let me know. Rudolph, it's possible. He happens to like our shoes a lot, so you never know. Walter, ¿te dedicas a calzados? ¿Qué haces? Zoom, zoom, zoom. Diablo and beige combo. Yes, I do have the Diablo and beige combo. Somewhere. Give me 1 second. There we are. And actually, I'm going to bring these out also because you guys have asked me which are my favorite ones. And I'm going to show you my first reaction, which was my favorite, but then something else grew on me. So these are the beige and Diablo combo. And really, I should have called this latte and beige because it's, I'm sorry, latte and Diablo because it's really similar to that color. But without the burnishing that we have in the latte, it just looks a little bit more beige. The base of the latte is a beige. So glad you like this one. And then where's the other one? That just brought it. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so originally when I first pull the samples, you know, it's actually really difficult. So at first when I sit down and I start writing down what I want to make and just go through it, I pretty much have to visualize everything as we're designing this collection. And sometimes how I visualize it and how it actually comes out are two different things. So I'm always like opening up all these boxes of samples is almost like a Christmas day. Like you're just opening, you know, excited, looking, seeing, you know, comparing it in my mind, like what it looks like compared to what I thought it's going to look like in real life. And right off the bat, actually, this was my favorite shoe in the collection. There's just something about it, like the three tones. It almost reminds me of like one of those old wooden doors that you see like in like a 800-year-old church, like a big wooden door with like the metal like rivets on it. And I just thought it just looked pretty cool. But little by little, this shoe stole my heart. Yeah, so Ms. Corcus, am I pronouncing that right? Yeah, we'll probably do some Adelaides again. I think the last one, I think we called it the Franco. Some of you guys may have it. We had it in like, I'd say 4 or 5 colors. I just don't remember if it was 2017 or 2018. So to tell you the truth, I was kind of, this shoe was almost going to be an Adelaide, but we kind of went this way instead. Let me just see over here quickly. Are there any other questions that you guys have? Julian, anything that any questions you have? I think we're going on an hour 44, but there's plenty of you. I'm happy to keep talking. I don't know how many of you are relatively new right now to the stream. How many of you have been here for a while? I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have. Yes. Do we think of doing shell cordovan shoes? Yes. In fact, not only did we think about it, but now in January, I spent a big part of my trip. I was there for longer than usual in Italy, and I toured a lot of tanneries, and I toured shell cordovan tanneries, and that is, we decided who we're going to work with, and that is, actually, it's not just shell cordovan. There's a few different exotic materials that we're going to start working with, and actually one of them we were going to release during this campaign. It's part of, again, what I've kind of hinted to a little bit earlier in this live stream. It's part of this pretty unique thing that we came up with that, again, has not been done before, and we did that with an exotic leather. Shouldn't say leather exotic, but it's a very uncommon leather. But yeah, working with shell cordovan is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and it's something that we've sourced already, and it's just a matter of timing at this point. So we will do shell cordovans, and it's going to be a very small collection. It's going to be probably like a cap toe and a blucher, like a cap toe Oxford or blucher, like very, very simple, and just letting the shell cordovan and a couple of the other materials that we source, letting those be the star of the collection, not so much the styling. It's just about the materials. So the inspiration for using an EVA outsole is just everyday sport comfort, giving an alternative to a sneaker. Right now it's either a dress shoe or a sneaker, and I wanted something in between. EVA is something I've been, actually, for those of you that don't know, I've been in the shoe business for a really, really, really long time, and EVA is something that I've used in the past, and it was always pretty well received as a nice light alternative casual shoe. But I wanted to incorporate it here. We haven't done that before, and I always like to, especially during these campaigns when we want to offer as many new things as possible and just gauge your reactions to it and get your feedback on it. I thought this was that was a good way to go. And again, it's the whole idea of the sport collection is, I'm repeating myself, but it's that in between sneaker and dress shoe. It's something that looks good and classy, and maybe some people even wear it with like a casual suit or more, or business casual in general. But it's also something you can wear with a pair of jeans and a polo shirt. That's probably right. Like my day-to-day, my go-to right now is kind of what you see here. This is like my uniform. For those of you that have seen me live stream for a long time, this is probably what you've always seen me in, either a navy blue polo shirt or black polo shirt. And since we've come out with sneakers, it's these black and white sneakers that I wear for a long time. Actually, I had dark browns one right before this, but that's the whole idea behind the sport collection, like a nice in between dress shoes and sneakers. Looks good, light, easy to wear. Again, the whole purpose. Let me bring out a Suede one. Again, incorporating what we've done throughout this collection, which is just that softness, nothing harsh, flexibility. It's just like, hate sounding too cliche, but it's like butter. It's just like just easy. It's just an easy shoe to wear, an easy shoe to pair, and it's just very versatile. Thinking about doing shepherd on shoe. Thanks, Timbers. Franco's were 2018. I knew it was around there. So right now I have the Duke in black with white outsole. So this color combination is not part of the factory access, but the Duke in like 18 other colors is. We don't have black. We do have the Bruno. Actually, I should bring those Brunos over. So this is something that I guess you can say that a theme for this in general is, I've said the softness of it, and I've said the versatility, but overall, while we offer lots of dress shoes, lots of classic, elegant shoes, and even things that are nice contrasting statement shoes, you're going to find scattered throughout this collection like this notion of comfort, versatility, things that don't really fall too well into like a particular category, or that don't fall too well into a particular expectation of how a shoe should look or worn when you're dressing for a certain occasion. And I guess Bruno is like a good example of that. our upper is, this is our Kurt upper, and we just put it on a Margam outsole, on a Margam sneaker outsole. So it's kind of like, is this a dress shoe? Is this a sneaker? It's kind of like that in between. And there's that flexibility, there's a versatility. Well, again, we use our softer calfskin on this, so it's a really soft shoe. It's all hand dyed, hand burnished, and we did it in 4 different colors. Vela blue, we have it in a brandy, we have it in a cognac nickel also. So I guess you can see that's kind of the theme over here. No, la construcción de todos nuestros zapatos, por lo menos de la colección que ves acá, son todos Blake. Y tenemos una colección Goodyear también, que se llama nuestra colección Signature, Walter, pero eso no lo estamos mostrando ahora. Vamos a hacer una campaña separada solo para eso. Probablemente 1 o 2 meses después de esta campaña. I do run the tour and yeah, P, I'm going to figure that out, and I'm going to send out that information. Actually, during our next live stream, maybe we'll make it a Zoom meeting. We'll talk a little bit more, and I'll have that on hand. Yes, yeah, and Timbers. That's what I was speaking about. Doing the suggested colors for this collection. So I don't know if we'll do it because we have, again, I have so many things that we didn't include in this collection. I look in the Theo alone, I think we have 6 colors that we actually put in this collection. I have 8 that I didn't put up. So I probably have sampled already the colors that you would want to add to all these styles. We just yesterday alone, we cut like 35 or 40 shoes, Julian and I, just because it's just too much. So we have so much to choose from. So I'm just not sure we'll make the voting this time just based on what we already have, or just keep it open and let you guys design something new. And again, those are discussions that I'd like to have with you guys, whatever you guys want to do. Is a wingtip wine and koi available in this campaign? It's not. The closest thing I would say that we have is this. But no, the Vincent wingtip wine and koi is available on our website. So Wolfgang, so you understand, like here we pretty much have, we only have things that are different from what's on our website, and it's entire new limited edition. They're things that we don't have anywhere else, and most of it, if not all of it, we're never going to offer again. So these are all limited run, small batch productions, which is just during these 30 days that we offer them. So it's completely separate from our regular website. You guys, I think we're kind of running up on 2 hours here. Maybe some of you guys are bored of hearing me talk. Maybe not. But we'll probably, actually, Julian was supposed to come on at 1, but I guess we kind of blew by that one. Do you guys want us to come back on later tonight? Is there a time that works for everyone? Does everyone have kids at home right now? Homeschooling? Any suggestions that you guys can give us? Happy to work around it. All right. Timbers, we can do that. I think that's probably the easiest thing to do, since we have them all photographed. There's no, you don't have to use your imagination too much. We have a lot. I mean, even we have complete styles. Let me just show you, give you some examples. So like we did the Nico hole cut in bourbon and like 4 other colors. Like this is not on there at all. Like in the long wing. So this is actually, this was what I was going to show you guys before. So this is not a real weave. This is a stamp weave, and this is what you see on a lot of shoes. So we did this Charles long wing with a stamp weave in between. We have, and again, I'm showing now shoes that we did not include in the collection. I should say that we didn't release. We did the our Amit tassel loafer in 4 or 5 new colors. We did the Cedric boot. We have it in gray, which I think we didn't release. We have it in the blue, which I think Julian just put up this morning, but originally we didn't release. Again, the Theo with Suede on. Do you guys see it? Sir Theo monk strap with suede on the buckle, not released. A bunch of different brown tones with different color straps, also not released. So we have so much to work with that it almost quite available in this campaign. 1,900 hours. All right, that could work. Wolfgang, is everyone okay with 1,900 hours to have Julian come on here? Yeah, we can do a tour walk around. You know, maybe we'll do that like on a Instagram live. Maybe easier. I can use my phone and just walk around here and show you guys. Benjamin, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I would love. Please do. I think we have a hashtag called Style Ace Marks, which we hashtag your shoes, your orders once they arrive. We'll post it on our stories as well. Yeah, and P, the reason that our shoes are so easy to shine is, again, because they're made on that really high end crust calfskin leather, and that leather, that calfskin, again, it's what Berluti uses, it's what Santoni uses, it's what all these really high end brands use, and the reason for it is because it's intended to be dyed by hand, and it's intended to be polished by hand. It's not intended to be mass produced or be put into a big vat to be dyed, you know, with thousands of other pieces of leather. It's intended to be cared for by hand, and that's why our products are that easy to shine, and that's also why you have to be super careful with the products that you use on our shoes, because they really are really high-end, delicate products. Cool. All right, so I think we're going to sign off, and yeah, thanks, yeah, our Ace Marks brand polish is very comparable to Saphir Medal d'Or. It's also made in France. It's a very high-end polish. It's what's used at our factory. So our factory uses two things. They use Saphir Medal d'Or Pate Deluxe, and they use our brand shoe polish. It's interchangeable. So I see a bunch of you guys, a bunch of people just came back on or came on. I was planning on signing off right now, but if anyone has any particular questions that you want me to answer, I'm happy to. Anything about the collection, about the shoes, if there's any shoe they want to see a little bit closer up, any colors they have questions about. Yeah, we have actually, even in the browns, we have so many new colors. We have the walnut color, we have a coconut color. What else do we have? We have like a new variation of like a sienna. I may have done too much this time. Just a little too much. It's hard to cut it out. It's a little bit of an addiction, I guess. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm probably gonna have Julian will probably be on. We're gonna switch. He'll be on later today. I see the suggestions here for 1,900 hours. We'll maybe do that. I'll talk to Julian, see if that works for him, and we'll come back on. We're gonna announce by email, probably also on Instagram the next time we come on, and we're gonna give Zoom a chance as well. So maybe we'll do a Zoom tomorrow or the day after, or maybe the day after that, or maybe we'll just do it every day for at least 15, 20, 30 minutes. And yeah, that way we can all connect and just talk shoes. And I'll talk to a few friends of mine that you guys probably also work with or have purchased from their brands too. And maybe I'll get them to come on and we can all talk together and talk about what's going on, talk about life, family, shoes, menswear products, whatever you want. All right. It's been a pleasure, guys, and thank you so much. And we'll be back on soon. Look for the emails in your inbox, and we'll let you know the times, and we'll send out a link. Thanks, guys. Oh, I didn't click end yet. You want to see the coconut color? Okay, let me show you that before we go. 1 second, P. And so I should probably put it up against another brown shoe. All right, so this is coconut with beige, and this is just brown, slightly darker. All right, I'm gonna sign off, guys. Go grab some lunch quickly, and I'll be back. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.